Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. Today we're diving into something that is absolutely mind-blowing. The actual, literal, biomedical mechanics of how the human brain processes hypnosis. I want you to go ahead and forget whatever you thought you knew about this subject, because we are going to break down the hypnotic mind using some seriously insightful scientific frameworks. We're literally tracing the exact mechanical journey of a suggestion as it physically travels through the geography of your brain. To do that, we got to start with the massive elephant in the room. Is hypnosis just a parlor trick? I mean, when most of us hear the word hypnosis, we instantly picture, a stage magician, maybe a swinging pocket watch, or some poor guy being convinced to cluck like a chicken in front of an audience, right? It feels like magic, or maybe even kind of like a psychological scam. But the source material we're digging into today completely shatters that illusion. Hypnosis is definitely not magic. It's a highly specific mechanical process that takes place right inside your biology. Check out this quote from psychologist Ronald Stone and the biomedical engineering models of Itzhak Bentov, because it completely flips the paradigm. They state that hypnosis is basically a technique which permits acquisition of direct access to the sensory motor cortex and pleasure centers following successful disengagement of the screening function of the left hemisphere of the brain. Okay, I know that is a very heavy dose of scientific terminology, but what's absolutely crucial here is how it frames hypnosis as a biological bypass mechanism. It's literally an engineering model of the mind. So let's unpack exactly what they mean by this screening function. Which brings us to Section 1, Demystifying the Hypnotic Mind, from magic to biomedical engineering. Section 2, the left brain gatekeeper, meeting the mind's bouncer. To really get how this mechanical journey kicks off, I want you to picture your left hemisphere as this incredibly strict bouncer at the door of a highly exclusive VIP club. According to the research, the left side is the self-cognitive, verbal, and linear reasoning component of your mind. Its primary biological job? To act as a screen. Every single stimulus coming in from the outside world gets stopped at the door by the left hemisphere. It categorizes the info, assesses it, assigns meaning to it, and basically decides if it's true, false, safe, or dangerous. It is highly critical, and honestly, for good reason. It prevents your brain from just being totally overloaded by the chaotic data of the real world. Now, on the flip side, the right hemisphere is an entirely different story. This side is non-critical, it's holistic, it's nonverbal, and it's pattern-oriented. And here is the fundamental concepts you really need to grasp. The right hemisphere appears to accept whatever the left hemisphere passes to it without a single question. It completely, 100% trusts the left brain. If the left brain says a piece of information is true, the right brain believes it implicitly and acts on it right away. So, if you want to plant a radical suggestion in the right brain, you have to figure out a way to circumvent the left brain's intense security screening. And that leads us to Section 3, bypassing the screening function, the heist of a suggestion. So, how exactly do you pull off this heist? How do you sneak a radical idea, like, say, the suggestion that your arm is completely numb, past a gatekeeper that is literally designed to reject it? Well, the source material actually outlines the exact step-by-step mechanical process for this. Step 1, you've got to distract the left hemisphere. And the primary way to do this is either through pure boredom or by reducing it to a soporific semi-sleep state. You see, the left brain absolutely thrives on complex linear problem solving. When you feed it a repetitive, monotonous stimulus, like a swinging pocket watch or just a steady, droning voice, it gets starved of the complexity it craves. It eventually just gets bored, and its analytical functions essentially fall asleep on the job. Once that bouncer is asleep, boom, we hit step 2. External stimuli, meaning the hypnotic suggestions are allowed to slip right past the door, completely unchallenged, proceeding directly into the right hemisphere. And finally, step 3, because the right hemisphere is totally non-critical, it accepts that incoming suggestion as an absolute, literal reality. It instantly routes the suggestion directly to the motor cortex, the pleasure centers, or the memory centers for immediate physical action. Let's look at Section 4, the right brain homunculus, delivering the physical payload. All right, so what actually happens when that suggestion physically lands in the uncritical right side of the brain? To understand the physical payload, we've got to talk about the homunculus. The research points out that both the sensory and the motor cortices of the right cerebral portion of the brain contain a sequence of points known as the homunculus. Guys, this is a biological reality that is just genuinely fascinating. What it means is that there is a literal, topographical map of your entire body etched right onto the surface of your brain's cortex. Every single point on your physical body corresponds directly to a specific, targetable point on this brain map. When you stimulate the corresponding area on the cortex, it triggers an immediate response in that associated physical body part. And this biological map leads to incredibly tangible, real-world outcomes. Let's say a hypnotist suggests that your left leg is numb. If that suggestion successfully slips past the sleeping left brain and reaches the appropriate area of the right hemisphere's sensory cortex, specifically hitting that exact spot on the homunculus map, an actual electrical reaction is generated in your brain tissue. That electrical reaction literally induces the physical sensation of numbness in your leg. We are talking about a biological, measurable response here, not just some psychological belief. Similarly, if the incoming suggestion is to feel a general sense of happiness, the right brain routes that data straight to the pleasure centers located in the lower cerebral portion, physically inducing a state of intense euphoria. And, as the research points out, this same mechanism can even be utilized to massively enhance concentration and powers of memory. I actually want to pause on that point about memory for a second, because the mechanics here are incredibly revealing. When a subject is under hypnosis and they're told they have enhanced concentration or memory, the right hemisphere responds by accessing unused information storage capacity. Now, you might be wondering, why is all that capacity just sitting around unused in our daily lives? Well, it's because it's normally held in reserve, locked away by the left hemisphere's super strict selection and control processes. Your left brain acts as a massive filter, constantly deciding what mundane details you should remember and what you should just throw out, purely to keep you functioning efficiently without getting completely overwhelmed. By putting the left brain to sleep, hypnosis entirely removes that filter. It gives your consciousness direct, unhindered access to vast reserves of stored information that your waking mind normally can't even reach.
Moving into Section 5, Unlocking the Gateway Experience, Accelerating Human Potential.
We've just walked through the incredibly intricate mechanics of this whole process, but zooming out for a second, why does this matter on a larger scale? Well, the source material makes a very specific point to highlight the connection here to the gateway experience. Just for some quick context, the gateway process involves training the brain to achieve altered, highly focused states of consciousness, usually with the goal of synchronizing the brain's hemispheres to explore expanded human potential and deeper states of reality. The research explicitly states that understanding these biomedical mechanics of hypnosis is absolutely vital because it can be used to dramatically accelerate progress in the early stages of this gateway experience. Normally, reaching those really profound states of altered consciousness requires years of intensive meditative practice just to learn how to manually quiet that noisy analytical left brain. Hypnosis provides a mechanical shortcut. By understanding how to intentionally and efficiently bypass the left brain's screening function using these exact techniques, subjects can fast-track their ability to reach deeper states of consciousness. It is literally a tool used to temporarily dismantle the mind's own limitations. So, as we wrap up this explainer, I want to leave you with a thought to really carry forward. What could you achieve if you could successfully bypass your left brain screening process to unlock your own unused mental and physical capacity? As you've seen today, hypnosis is so far removed from a cheap stage trick. It is a profound biomedical key designed to access the uncritical, limitless potential of your right hemisphere. And the map to doing this is quite literally etched right into the surface of your brain, just waiting to be accessed. Thank you so much for exploring this fascinating engineering model of the mind with me. Keep questioning the mechanics of the world around you, and I will see you next time.